What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing my review / breakdown of the Suicide Squad. It came out last week on Thursday. It's been a couple days. I'm trying to give you guys a chance to go check it out. I got a chance to go see it in theaters, but it is on HBO Max, so you guys can't make it. Go ahead and get your HBO Max subscription and get the ball rolling. Right out of the gate, I did like this movie more than the original Suicide Squad. All in all, I'd probably give it like a solid 8 out of 10 if I were to give it a raw score. But I was trying to think of like exactly the reasons why I was actually liking this movie better than the first one. And then I had a chance to rewatch the old Suicide Squad with my fiance two days later, and I realized that it just came down to the like grittiness of the old Suicide Squad. One, I'm a huge fan of the Joker. Joker's like my number one guy, with the exception of Thanos. Those are my top two villains of all time. Top two almost characters of all time. And I was very let down from the first Suicide Squad that, you know, we had all this trailer footage thinking that the Joker was going to be the main villain of the Suicide Squad, and it didn't end up happening that way. So, one, that was a huge letdown for me. Two, the style of the DCEU at that point was very dark and gritty, like I already said. So a lot of their fight sequences and stunt choreography and final boss battles, it was like literally just in the complete darkness. Like I remember watching the final scene with my fiance, like I said, a few days ago, and it was like pouring rain, pitch blackout. Like you could not even see what they were doing. So I know that's very like technical details and stuff, but at least in this movie, the majority of the action takes place in broad daylight, or like it's very visible, and you know, it doesn't have to have that dark tone that the DCEU had before this movie. Let's get into the characters now. Gotta say, shout out to the boy Idris Elba. I absolutely loved his character. I thought, you know, I wasn't even worried about Deadshot from Will Smith's portrayal in the original one. I do really like Will Smith, but unfortunately, my boy Idris Elba, he killed it. I liked his character better. It's a very similar story arc in the sense that Amanda Waller had leverage on both of them because of their daughters, but it worked for me in his case. His costume was sick, his weaponry was dope as fuck, and I thought he just was like a better leader, because Will Smith's character kind of butted heads a little bit with Amanda Waller as well as Rick Flag in the first one, whereas this one, Amanda Waller really gave him the responsibility of the whole mission almost. So I really liked his character. The character development for him really worked with me, and I would like to see him stick around if they do, you know, another HBO series or even a sequel movie or whatever. Next, Harley Quinn. She's getting better and better as Harley Quinn. Personally, for me, I really liked her in the first Suicide Squad. Then I thought Birds of Prey was a bit of a letdown. I thought it was just the studio's chance to try to profit off of her character, and it didn't have a great script, and it didn't have much going for itself. So she did a lot better in this movie, especially the reference where she says, when she kills the president of Corto Maltese, they're in the middle of their love montage, and she shoots him right in the chest and says, "I'm sorry. You know, I promised myself the next time I date somebody and they have red flags, I'm gonna kill them." So I thought this was a big shout out, because the Joker is still technically out there somewhere. We just have no idea where, and she is now in a better mental state that she will stand up for herself and do what needs to be done to protect her and people that she cares about. So shout out to Harley. Another third shout out, and this is actually a very big surprise to me, my boy Peacemaker, or Peacekeeper, I think it's Maker. I'm not a fan of John Cena as an actor. I don't think my boy should have just stuck with WWE, but that's just me. But in terms of his character, I liked his character in the sense that he was the opposition to a lot of characters in the roles. So he was in opposition to Rick Flag. He was in opposition to Bloodsport. There's a lot of competitiveness. The story arc where he had his own mission of retrieving the file that showed that the government was in charge, the United States government was in charge of creating Starro and the Starro program. That was his mission, and he said, as peacemaker, he is willing to hide the truth of this terrible experiments that have been done just to hold the peace within the United States and all the people that were involved with these experiments. Whereas Rick Flag, you can see his character progression. He is no longer the guy who just takes orders. He's like, no, this is wrong. We need to tell the world, how corrupt this whole situation was, and people need to be aware of this. So that whole scene where Peacemaker goes against Rick Flag, ultimately ending in the death of Rick Flag, I thought it was a beautiful scene. So big shout out to that. Now let's move down to the script. For me personally, the opening scene with the two teams of the Suicide Squad members, and half the team, literally, maybe even more than half, like 8 people got killed within the first 5 minutes without even having to showcase their abilities. To me, that didn't really work for me. I didn't appreciate it. So you're trying to wonder, like, what are these people's powers? How are they going to showcase them? You get Weasel, Pete Davidson's character. They all just literally go to waste. They show up on the beach and they get murked within a matter of seconds. And yes, I get it. James Gunn was trying to show that these are legitimately the bottom of the barrel characters. Suicide Squad, nobody cares about them. They can die off, and we can just say that they were expendable, whatever. But for me, for you to kill off that many people that quick without even getting a chance to showcase them, like Captain Boomerang, he was one of my favorite characters from the first Suicide Squad, and I was hoping he would get a better showcase in this one. He threw his boomerang, killed 2 people, and then he got killed by a helicopter. So, to me, it was just very disappointing. That opening scene, wasn't a fan of it. I think it would have worked for me better if they would have showed characters die throughout the movie to show that they are expendable without having them all die within the first mission. So now to the ending. The ending for me personally, I loved everything up until the point when it was the Suicide Squad versus Starro. I love the mission when they go in to Jotunheim and they're trying to destroy the building, get the files. Everybody has their part to play in there. I loved all that. But then you're gonna tell me a dude who throws dots, a person who collects rats, Bloodsport, which is a boss, guy with guns, and a psychotic chick with a javelin and a walking shark are going to be able to take out that big ass star? The polka dot man, he shoots his polka dots at the leg of the starfish, and it does hella damage. So I was thinking, damn, okay, so this guy's going to be the dude who does the whole world saving, and he gets murked. He's like, I'm a superhero, and then gets his ass busted. I don't know. I think the movie needed some level of seriousness. For me personally, I think that's where it lacked. I like movies that are kind of goofy, like Deadpool or something like that, but there was almost not enough seriousness for some of these characters, and the weight of their deaths and the weight of their actions just didn't stick with me. Like, I didn't care that Polka Dot Man died. I didn't care that. Well, I did care that Rick Flag died, but there was some level of seriousness to that action. So, that being said, the final scene where Ratcatcher brings down the whole storm of Vermintide on Starro, I was really like, damn, this is gonna be the girl who's gonna end up saving the world with a bunch of rats? Like, for real? To me, that really didn't work. I honestly could care less about her character. She really did nothing in the entire movie until that point. Like, she had a cute little rat on her waving hello, so it was good comedic relief. And they try to build her character development by saying, her father was the rat catcher, and then they give that sentimental part at the end where they say, oh, why rats? So because if rats can have a purpose and they're at the very bottom of the totem pole, then so can everybody. I understood it. It was like supposed to be sentimental, but it just didn't work for me because I didn't really establish a connection with that character. If she would have got killed off, I don't think it would have mattered to me. Like, I thought the movie was very entertaining. I love the gore. I think sometimes the gore could be a little too much, but when you're talking about superheroes and characters of this caliber, it's a little more realistic that there's going to be some blood and some gore versus like the first Suicide Squad where, you know, you don't see any of that. So for me, really where the movie loses its points is within the script. But let me know what you guys thought of the movie. I could be being a little harsh. I don't know. Let me know if there's something that I'm missing that you saw that, you know, really changes the way you appreciate this movie. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you can best support the channel by leaving a like, sharing, and subscribing. If you want to personally chat with me, you can follow me at Mr. Jalapeno13 on Instagram. Hit me up with any questions you guys have about this movie, any other videos I have, any other DC or Marvel content. My boy CG and I just dropped our video of our top what if scenario in preparation for the new show. Go check it out, guys. We worked a lot. We worked really hard on this, from linking up together, writing the script down, and then filming our separate parts to bring the video for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.